got it, buddy! Good job, Boo Bear!
Propeller tail. It's a propeller tail. He doesn't usually do that. Oh, now it's all wet.
Good job, Bubba! You got it, buddy! What a good Boo Bear! What a good Boo Bear! You're my beautiful baby, Bubba Bear. You're my beautiful baby. You gonna bring it all the way up? You gonna bring it all the way up here? Come on, all the way. All the way. What a good boy! What a good Boo Bear!
He is such a funny boy. All right, hello boys and girls. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News, and welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. Thanks so much for tuning in. I have a whole bunch of videos that I made for you, but I don't know where my list is at. So I can't guess. I want to guess and click the wrong button or something. But I would like to take a dab with you because I came to smoke fat dabs and play videos and take phone calls. So if you guys want to call, the number's right there on the screen. It's 805-669-6397. We do this every night. You know the damn number. But it is Dabs for Donations Friday. On Fridays we do, if you make a donation to Mox News, I will do a big fat dab in your honor. It will be my honor to do a dab in your honor. So, I thought that we could do that too. But I'm ready for a bong hit, so I don't want to wait on you. Because you know what? This week I've had at least 2 people tell me that they're going to give me donations and that they've been longtime viewers and finally they're able in a position to give a donation and they don't. And plus I didn't get any donations this week. So I'm not complaining. I'm still here. I'm just letting you know. That the people who said, yeah, I'll donate Bitcoin, they didn't do that. The people who said, yeah, I haven't ever given you a donation, but now I'm in a position to do so, didn't do that. So, you know. Because I want us all on the same page. But, let's see. Like I said, I'm ready for a bong hit. I'm going to go ahead and get a bong hit. I don't have my list of videos here, and I don't want to play the wrong one on accident. I got some good ones. I'll tell you what, let's start here because I know which one this is. And I think you'll like it. Seattle is considering decriminalizing all personal drugs, just as Oregon has just done. We win again! Smoke weed. We can already smoke weed here. Smoke weed. Smoke weed. Smoke weed.
One of the most controversial bills this legislative session in Olympia. A new proposal would decriminalize what they call personal amounts of illegal drugs.
As Como's Matt Markovich reports, the bill is already getting international attention.
There are 2 parts to this bill, but only one real controversial part that would allow personal amounts of fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, and other illegal drugs. The definition of a personal amount hasn't been defined, but would be established by a panel that would include prosecutors, like the King County and Snohomish County prosecutors who support it.
And it's a bill that is supported by communities all over the state and not a bunch of fuzzy-headed, progressive-centric elites.
One group spoke against it during public testimony.
We are concerned that this may lead to a change in public perception that these drugs are more acceptable.
The former president of Switzerland even testified in favor, calling out the U.S. for having the highest rate of drug offenders in prison of developed nations.
Authorities at all levels must urgently decriminalize the possession of drugs for personal use.
The second part of the bill, less controversial, called for more treatment and jail diversion programs for people caught with illegal drugs, but that's the expensive part. In Seattle, Matt Markovich, Como News.
I thought that's good news, but the simple truth is if you understand who the people in Olympia are, they don't give a fuck. If the United States has the largest percentage of incarcerated individuals of any civilized Western country in the world, they don't give a fuck. That's America. America's a goddamn police state. We all know that. Get used to it, people. What the fuck is wrong with you? Get with the program. America is a fucking police state. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's up, man?
I am doing dabs. What's up with you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm watching your show here. I figured I would call in and have a chat.
Okay, what's your name?
My name's Ethan.
Hey, Ethan, it's good to hear from you. Thanks a bunch for calling. What's on your mind?
I'm really pissed about the Jews.
You what now? Oh, well, that's that seems to be a very widespread thing that's going on, Ethan. And one of these days, hopefully, you'll get over it. Okay, so my bong is just about ready here. Okay, people. Now, as I said, I came to take fat dabs, play videos, and talk to phone callers. So, the number is right there on the screen. 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. And it's Dabs for Donations Friday. First one's free. I'd love to do one in your honor. Send us a donation and I will be happy to do that. And you will be the first person this week to donate. How nice that would be of you. That's not it. That's not it. What was that? That's not it. Okay, so I'm getting ready to play another video, except I don't have my list. So I will have to go get my list and come back so I can play a video for you. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
Illusions of musical dopeness. I love that. I love that video. That video could not be more perfect, right? I just don't think that video could not be more perfect. I'm gonna play it again and again and again, and I already have. Hello, caller.
Hello, Javier calling. I'd just like to speak my mind about this whole mask ordeal.
Which mask ordeal?
The one where the government is restricting my freedom by forcing me to wear a mask.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Guy Fawkes masks or something. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, Oh, no. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I just feel like they're stripping our civil liberties away, you know? If I want to, smoke weed in public, that seems fucking illegal, that's all, to force me to wear a mask,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been chipping away at our freedoms for a long time, man. You should be used to it. You got to get with the program, dude.
Well, no, because, first it's masks, then it's microchips, next thing you know, we got a fucking Auschwitz-Birkenau fucking down in Salem.
It's not Auschwitz, it's re-education camps. Get it right.
I'm sorry. It's re-education camps. Yeah, man, and, like you say that with Jews and you get fucking...
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't...
Yes, you did. I don't want to have this discussion, and it's because you bring that up at like it's an anger thing, and then it's like either I have to stop the conversation or we have to have a discussion about it. I don't want to have a discussion about it. I don't have a discussion about your anger about any fucking religion. Okay, I don't like all of them. They're all the same. Okay? They're all against God. That's how I see your religions. So you know. God said, here's all the freedom to do anything you can imagine. And every single motherfucking religion said, no, God doesn't want you to do whatever you want. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's what religions are. That's not who God is. Don't forget it. In case anybody was wondering who God is, I just thought I'd spell that out for you. All right? Now that we got that clear, let's talk about this. And this is real, okay, people?
Trump won the election. Among the suspects' possessions, this is real, a white privilege card. I want you to take a look at this. It's a fake white privilege credit card. Subtitle, Trump's everything. The card holder, scot-free, with 2 T's. Scot-free is actually spelled with 1 T, but, 2 T's on that card. That one piece of evidence, an insight into the man's state of mind, that he can get away with anything because of his skin color.
And this is real. Not like the bullshit I told you 5 minutes ago. This is real. He says, this is real. And then he says, in his wallet, a fake white privilege card, right? So is it real or is it fake? You're kind of blurring the lines here, Don. No, it's real. And that's not the way you spell Scott. Or at least it's not the way you spell scot-free. Wow, there's something seriously wrong with that guy. But we don't have all night to talk about that. And it's going to take days and days and days to figure that out completely. And apparently Dawn is clearly still working on it. But one of the things, the reason for... Okay, can you guys see the motherfucking telephone number on the motherfucking screen? Or do I got to keep spelling it out for you? One of the reasons the video is titled the way it is because during the impeachment hearings today, I kept hearing the word fear. I kept hearing the word fear. I kept hearing, we feared for our lives. We were in fear, right? And I keep thinking, from the V for Vendetta, people should not, it's not fear. People should not, what is it? People should not, just a sec. There you go. People should not be afraid of their governments. People should not be afraid of their governments. Is there anybody in this country that doesn't live in fear of their government coming and taking away all their possessions? You hear it every night. Taking away their guns, making their money completely valueless by inflation, by devaluing it through inflation. Is there, arresting you, putting you in jail forever, claiming you're a domestic terrorist, taking away all your rights, no court, no judge, no freedom of expression. Is there anybody that doesn't live in fear of of this United States government? Is there anybody who thinks that this United States government, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Senator Leahy, McCarthy, Liz Cheney, is there anyone here at all who believes that this government doesn't want you to live in constant fear of it? Is there anyone who believes that? First it was like, oh, we want all the other countries to live in fear of us. So we have to have all the nuclear weapons. More nuclear weapons. That's what the world needs. Right? So all the other countries have to fear us. Everybody on earth has to fear us. We don't have to fear. But it seems like maybe our government got a little carried away with that and decided all of its citizens should also live in constant terror from its government, knowing that your government is spying on you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Everything you do on the internet, every message you send on every private message you send on the Facebook, every fucking text message you send on your phone, every picture your 12-year-old daughter takes with her cell phone, regardless if she sends it to anyone or not. That's who this government is. And they want you to know that's who they are because they want you to live in constant fear of them. That's the kind of public servants that we have, so we're clear. I despise the Congress. I despise the U.S. government. I think they all need to go to prison for the rest of their lives in order to make the world a safer place so that we don't all have to live in constant fear, to make examples of them for the people who come behind them. If you think we're going to live in constant motherfucking fear, you got another thing coming, buddy. It's you who better watch your motherfucking step, or you will follow your predecessors right to prison for the rest of your fucking life. And that's the way government in this country should be run. Don't you know? How many times do I gotta say it? How many times can I possibly say it? Again, the government's full of shit, lying to you day and night. We all know it's true. Let's recognize the common enemy. Let's stop pretending like there is any good left in the United States government at all. Because they're not. There's no good left in it. It's a fucking scourge on the earth. And every single sitting politician in Congress needs to go to prison for the rest of their lives. I don't care if they got there fucking yesterday. And I hope the rest of you agree with me.
Tonight, the White House dodging when asked if President Biden has confidence in New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's handling of the coronavirus. Cuomo was once lauded as a hero by some for his handling of the pandemic, writing a best-selling book touting his leadership during the crisis, even winning an Emmy for his daily briefings. But now he's facing new allegations that he covered up thousands of COVID deaths in the state's nursing homes. Athena Jones is out front.
The gravity of this cover-up cannot be overstated.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is under fire after his top aide admitted to withholding data for months that revealed thousands more confirmed and presumed COVID-19 deaths of long-term care facility residents than previously disclosed.
Applies.
According to a transcript of a private video call, Melissa DeRosa, who often appeared at press conferences with the governor, told Democratic state lawmakers, basically we froze because then we were in a position where we weren't sure if what we were going to give to the Department of Justice or what we give to you guys, what we start saying was going to be used against us. Cuomo arguing at the time the threat of an inquiry from the Trump administration was politically motivated.
They had played politics on this from day one.
The New York Post first reported the story, citing a recording of the call. State lawmakers from both parties slamming DeRosa's admission. 14 Democratic state senators saying in a statement Cuomo should be stripped of his emergency powers. Among them, Senator Alessandra Biaggi, who tweeted, "You're only sorry that you all got caught." State Republicans echoing their call and going further.
That the Cuomo administration purposely lied and withheld evidence and information to avoid prosecution. Andrew Cuomo must be prosecuted, and Andrew Cuomo must be impeached if this evidence exists.
Residents of long-term care facilities have accounted for a significant percentage of COVID deaths in many states. In New York, some 15,000 residents of facilities like nursing homes died, according to the Department of Health. About a third of all COVID deaths statewide.
The COVID crisis in New York's nursing homes was a preventable crisis.
The true death toll was revealed after New York Attorney General and Cuomo ally Letitia James issued a scathing report last month accusing the state of undercounting deaths in these facilities by some 50% by only publicly reporting those who died on site, not residents who were admitted to hospitals and died there or elsewhere. The deaths were counted in the state's overall death toll, but were not attributed to long-term care facilities.
Whether a person died in a hospital or died in a nursing home, it's the people died. I wish none of it happened. I wish there was no COVID. I wish no old people died.
The Associated Press reporting more than 9,000 recovering coronavirus patients in New York were transferred to nursing homes from hospitals early in the pandemic, including more than 6,300 previously disclosed admissions directly from hospitals and more than 2,700 readmissions of patients sent back to nursing homes from hospitals. Cuomo, who was among the governors meeting with President Joe Biden today, has faced criticism over a March 2020 state health department advisory that required nursing homes to admit and readmit patients with COVID, something critics say may have further fueled the outbreak in those facilities. Cuomo has said the policy was in line with federal guidance. Cuomo's administration has pushed back. State Health Commissioner Howard Zucker arguing 98% of New York nursing homes had COVID cases before admitting a positive patient from a hospital, and that the major driver of infections appears to be from asymptomatic staff. The controversial directive was scrapped in May.
And this latest controversy comes after Governor Cuomo was praised in many circles for his handling of the pandemic. His daily COVID briefings became appointment viewing for a time during the worst of the outbreak here in New York. He was hailed for his use of television to inform and calm the public. And there were even people talking about how he should run for president. Now he faces a real crisis. Aaron? Certainly does. Thank you very much, Athena, and in part because of how he himself positioned this. Let me bring in Jesse McKinley.
Okay, and let's just say I'm pretty sure Chris Cuomo on CNN didn't talk about that tonight, about what a giant piece of shit his brother is. Again, these people are liars and crooks, and I just don't understand why America can't do better than liars and crooks as politicians, right? I don't, where are the fucking scientists? Where are the people who actually care about the people of this country instead of themselves? Because all I see is people taking advantage of a cushy fucking job. That's all I see. And then talking about how fearful they were. They're surrounded by fucking guards, CIA, fucking... the most, and oh, we were so afraid. You know what? Again, this is what makes January 6th occupation of the People's House such a beautiful thing. And why? Because governments should be afraid of their people. People should not fear. No, people. How's it go again? Dang it! It's people should not be afraid. Should not be afraid. I keep telling you guys, don't be afraid. People should not be afraid of their governments. Okay? And I think it's a real, to hear them say that they're afraid of the American people, that's like music to my ears. That's the way it should be. And they're doing everything in their power to make it so that it's not that way. And they're going to increase more and more laws and chip away more and more at your Constitution so that they never have to be afraid of the people. They're going to keep razor wire fence up around the People's House forever until we throw these pieces of shit in jail and make examples out of them. It's the only way to do this. Otherwise, nothing's gonna change. And I hate to say it, because, you know, change is a constant. I've talked about that before. But I've been doing this right here, what you see me doing, for 20 years, long before there was a YouTube. And I haven't seen the slightest bit. I haven't felt represented for 1 second by this government. Hello, caller.
Hello, my name is Joe.
It's Joe?
Yes.
How's it going, Joe?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about censorship on Facebook and stuff. I had a YouTube channel and had a lot of subscribers, and I still have it, obviously. Got demonetized and all that stuff, but then I started posting on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook, and I had an account there for well over a decade. Well, I kind of wanted to, because I knew the writing was on the wall on that account, but I had all these family photos and stuff on there.
Yeah.
But I decided I'm going to go create a new, go to a different account, same name and everything, but I went to this other Facebook account. It was almost immediately that they just disabled it, and then they were trying to disable my pages that I had.
Yeah.
And it just has to stop. You know, because like they think that they have that much control over your life that they disable my.
Well, not just you, bro, but I mean, they act like they can censor the most powerful man in the world. You know, who the fuck are they? Who the fuck do those people think they are?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. And like, that's your digital footprint. That's you. You know, they think that they are the hall monitors of everybody.
It seems like there should be you know, there should be some kind of like checks and balances. Like if somebody's posting child pornography or whatever, then you go, hey, look, this guy is. But if you're getting censored because they don't like the news articles that you're posting, or you're saying something about Israel that they don't like, I mean, that should not be allowed to exist. Those people there's no way that they should have the right. You know, if you want to talk about vaccines, talk about vaccines. Don't go, oh, no, there can't be anything but the official story when it comes to vaccines. If you say anything except for the official story, you're automatically censored. We had one of our callers last night, who's a regular caller, say that he just got his Facebook page back 2 days ago, and then today or yesterday, they suspended again for 4 months, and he didn't even do anything. He didn't post anything. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had one group on there with 130,000 members, and the page was 15,000 likes. Stuff like that. They were trying to they wanted me to reauthorize that I had the right to publish on those pages.
Yeah.
I
Ridiculous.
just submit my ID to be able to keep my page.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I'm like, you really think that you have control over my entire business? Which is a cookbook. I have a cookbook that I publish.
Right on.
And
what kind of food?
Amish food. I'm former Amish.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's a Amish cooking group. It has 130,000 members, and then the page that's connected to it is got 15,000 likes. And I got a cookbook that has my mom's picture on the cover.
Right on. That's really sweet.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to I guess talk about that because somebody needs to. It needs to be talked about. Yes.
I've been talking about censorship forever. I mean, like, you have no idea. Like 10 years before there was a YouTube page, I started, and there was anybody was thinking about YouTube, I was talking
Yeah,
about censorship.
I know your story. I
Yeah.
actually had you on my original Facebook page account as a friend, but I didn't. And I don't have access to that anymore.
Yeah. Oh well. I know that feeling all too well, bro.
I know. You've had the same experience with all YouTube censorship and stuff. But
Yeah, I was getting too much attention, and the other news channels didn't like that, so, you know. I was getting more views than fucking C-SPAN was getting on some days. They couldn't stand that.
Yeah, definitely did. I only had like for myself on the Mr. Polita channel, I had like a total of 8 million views, which was amazing to me, but not nearly what you're getting, you know.
Yeah, well, that's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah.
Right on, Joe. Well, I'm glad you called. Have you called before?
Well, oh no, I haven't called in before. No.
Cool. Well, what is the Amish people's view of cannabis?
Well, I didn't witness any use in when I was in the Amish. I left back in '98 after my dad got paralyzed in '97. But and I do know that some do use it and sell it and all that stuff.
But there's no discussion about it. About this is the view. This is how we think about this, or it's not like, oh, this is an evil drug or something.
Oh no! I don't think. I think it's more of a. It's illegal, but it's not. I don't think that it's considered evil as far as that goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's created by nature. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it is. It's a natural product from God, and so that's. I know of at least a couple of them that were arrested for
cultivation.
Import, yeah, something like that, or whatever, you know.
Nice.
But that was since I left, you know, that I heard of those stories, not before, you know. And I've been out of Amish for over 2 decades.
That's why you got to make it part of the religion, man. Then you say, hey, religious freedom, assholes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Joe, did you want to talk about something else? Do you have anything else on your mind?
No, not at this time, but maybe I'll call sometime.
Right on. Well, I look forward to talking to you again soon, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, stay cool, bro. Yeah, thank you. Let's see. And if anybody knows if there's like an Amish view on cannabis, I'd love to hear it. And any other kind of like religious views on cannabis, because, you know, in my opinion, right at the beginning of the Bible, it says, I give to you all seed-bearing plants. You know, it's God speaking. Give unto thee all seed-bearing plants to use as meat. Anybody who knows cannabis knows it bears a fuck ton of seeds. So, to use as meat. This is supposed to be part of our daily lives. I've told you guys this again. Whether we're wearing it as clothing, using it as medicine, recreationally, fueling our cars with it, building our homes out of it, it's this amazing renewable resource that's just no other way to put it but a gift from God. And they make it the greatest sin of all time to grow flowers. That's our government. That's the U.S. government. And people like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer have done everything in their power to keep it as illegal as possible for as long as possible. That's who our government is. And again, How many lives did they ruin? How many years in prison do they deserve after putting all these beautiful people in prison for growing flowers or using a natural substance for pain relief? Right? It's that again. This is who these disgusting people are. And what's really disgusting is when they're ruining these people's lives for doing something 1,000 generations did before them. They're making a profit off it. Like every other war that they vote to continue endlessly, they are also drug war profiteers. As in war profiteers, only you put drug war profiteers. Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy, Liz Cheney. Oh, Liz Cheney's a big war profiteer. Probably the biggest war profiteer in Congress. But they're all basically war profiteers one way or another. It suits them well. And for that reason, in order to make the world a safer place for little children, they must go to prison. In order for us to ever get better politicians than these current war profiteers who try and keep us stuck in the 1930s. Prohibition. Try and keep us stuck in the 1930s. Try and keep this species from evolving to be all that it can be. Hello, caller.
Hey, hello, this is Frank from Portland.
What's up, Frank?
Basically, I just wanted to talk about, I'm really not a fan of the political environment here. Everybody's super hyper-polarized. I think a lot of people here would probably justify putting their opponents in frickin' camps.
Well, I every single day, Frank, try and say that the only enemy we have is in Washington, D.C. and their police state.
That's right.
Yeah. It's not your neighbors. It doesn't matter who they voted for at all. We must recognize the common enemy. And the only true enemy that we have, the only threat to your freedom, to my freedom, is the people in Washington, D.C. and their ever-expanding police state. So
I think you're right, and I'm just not a fan of the. I think people are being manipulated by media and social media and all that stuff, and just getting increasingly angry at each other and missing the point, which of course is Washington and the bankers and such.
Yeah, right.
You know
The people who control Washington, sure. Again, I see those people as just I think every single member of Congress must go to prison. I don't care if they just got there yesterday. We have to make examples of them and the crimes that the way they've been suppressing this species. They want to keep us in the 1930s and instead of letting us evolve into the 21st, 22nd century and being all that we can be. They hate that idea.
Yeah, I think a lot of them should get the death sentence, to be honest.
Well, we don't want to make martyrs of them. What we want to do is make examples of them. You understand? We want to show the people who come after them that, again, we're not going to live in fear of our government, but you best well live in fear of us, or you're going to follow your predecessor right to jail.
Yeah, but anyway, I see them wanting to do all this stuff with taking the guns and such, and that's kind of like the last thing they got to do before they can fully oppress everybody and just do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, but they can't take our guns. You know that, right?
I don't know, man. I think a lot of
No. They can't take our guns. You know why they can't take our guns? Because we have guns. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
You come to fucking front door and say, we're here to get your gun. You know what's going to happen? That's not going to work out real well for them.
I think the issue is that most Americans would probably willingly give them up if it was made into law. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's not true. The reason they have guns is because they like the idea of protecting themselves. The reason they have guns is because they understand that when seconds count, police are minutes away. You know, that's the reason people have guns, not because it's like an investment or something. You know, it gives them security, personal security. And to say, yeah, no, here, you can have my personal security, I don't think that's going to happen very willingly.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of people, maybe at least 50%
You mean
of gun owners,
sheep?
if
When you say
send a SWAT team to their house, I mean, I think they would give up their guns. You know what I
right,
mean?
but see, here's the deal. Okay, what are they going to send SWAT teams to everybody's house? Okay, so they're not going to send SWAT teams to everybody's house. What they're going to do is they're going to go to the people that are registered, not the SWAT teams, but maybe some, you know, whatever officials that we're here to collect your guns. Going to go, yeah, that was a really bad idea. And slam the door in their face. Look, it's just not going to happen. And the reason I know it's not going to happen is because we heard how Barack Obama was the most liberal president of all time. He's a fucking neocon. And the truth is that he had control of both the House and the Senate. And they did absolutely nothing on guns. And why did they do nothing on guns? Because they can't. They just can't. They can't. There is nothing they can do. I mean, you really want to see a revolution? What happened on January 6th, in my opinion, at the U.S. State Capitol, those people were incredibly peaceful. Incredibly peaceful. And it was an incredibly small amount of people. Okay, so you want to see a fucking insurgency on the U.S. Capitol? You go there, General. You go there.
I don't know, man. They've got a bunch of military guys there right now. I think it would be harder.
Yeah, well, the military guys are hopefully. I mean, there was a ton of veterans. There was a ton of police officers inside the so-called insurrection, like they call it, occupation of the People's House. But, you know, my point is that those people that with the military that are surrounding the Capitol right now in a martial law lockdown, basically, those people are sworn to protect the U.S. citizens. They're not sworn to protect the politicians, okay? They're not, this is not their job. Their job isn't to protect politicians from the citizens. Their job, that's a police job. That's a security detail. You go hire your private security, your Blackwater, or get your police, which is basically your private security, in place and do that. But you don't use the U.S. military against U.S. citizens that want to have a talk with their so-called representatives.
Yeah, but the representatives don't see it that way. Even Nancy Pelosi said they wanted to have them out there with frickin' crewman machine guns. And, ultimately the military guys, right now they're ideologically purging them. They got the FBI background checking all of them to make sure they're not Trump supporters.
Right.
And but anyway, ultimately they answer to their commander just like a cop. Right? It's like
the movie.
Unless they're a bad military guy.
Well, if your commander is telling you to fire on U.S. citizens in U.S. territory, you might question that, right? I mean, this is not what you signed up for. You signed up to go and protect those people, not to gun them down in the street. That's the police job.
I don't know, man. I have my doubts about the military, to be honest. But
Well, I hear you. I understand what you're saying because, generally speaking, it seems like if there's a choice and, as a person, military person, they're always kind of going to land on the police side, like, oh, no, I support the police. Well, fuck the police, okay? This is America. Support freedom. Fight for freedom, Again, this is...
Ultimately, our government doesn't want freedom.
No, this government hates your freedom. This government hates your freedom. What were we saying?
Yeah. Ultimately, I see the guys that are willing to shoot civilians in other countries. I don't see why it would be such a big step for them to do it here.
Yeah, well, again, yesterday's show was titled, Do Americans Still Have the Right to protest their government. And the reason I ask this is because under Obama, right, the Occupy people went into the streets and stayed there protesting for months, demanding the change they were promised, right? And the Barack Obama Department of Homeland Security labeled those protesters, those Americans in the proud American tradition of going into the street and demanding that their representative government hear their voices, labeled them potential domestic terrorists and sent in the police and bloodied their fucking skulls until they left the streets. And yeah, and that was under the most liberal president of all time. And by the way, under that most liberal president of all time was formed another protest group named Black Lives Matter. And I'm pretty sure the reason that they had to form the group Black Lives Matter is because the first black president didn't seem to get that.
Yeah. Oh man, there's not a lot I could say to that, man. But I don't know. I'm here. I think originally what I called about, actually, we got a little off track, was I wanted to ask how you think that we can make our neighbors love each other again and get over the polarization.
I walk around my neighborhood a couple hours every day. And what I do is I wave at people that, I are on the other side of the street. I say hi. One of my favorite lines is to say, another perfect Northwest afternoon, whether it's raining or whatever, because we love the rain here. It doesn't really matter. You have to get out and enjoy the day. But I talk to all my neighbors. And now I'm telling you, my neighborhood, everybody, when they drive, they wave. When they see us I walk again all over the place and I see people all day long waving at me from their car, and I have no idea who they are because I don't recognize their car, So but I'm very lucky. I know the main thing is that people are afraid, and they have to get over the fear. I'm afraid. Right now is so bad that they're afraid that when they go to the grocery store, if someone breathes on them, they might die. That's how afraid they are right now. It's just off the charts. So the only thing that you can do personally really is to be friendly to whoever. For me, it's just everybody. I don't judge anybody on visually. I just say hi and wave and have a smile, and if they return it in the same way, then that's great. I'm not trying to make a friend. I'm just, passing by and being friendly, because that's the neighborhood I want to live in. I want to live in a friendly neighborhood, and I guess that probably starts with me,
Oh man, I guess here in Poland it's almost a violent atmosphere because these guys have the frickin' Zionist mind virus.
Oh, what now? They have what?
The mind virus.
Mind virus.
I would say it. I would call it the mind virus.
So it's kind of like a psychiatric kind of problem.
Well, it's just my fun little way of saying that everyone's just freaking out, freaking afraid of each other.
Oh yeah.
It's like a virus, because people spread it to each other. It's not like schizophrenia. You can't give someone schizophrenia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can give somebody with schizophrenia a pill, but fear is different. I think you can probably give those people a pill too, but and what I try to do, a lot of people call on the show, and they're very afraid. Oh, the economy's going to crash. Oh, you should have heard in like February and March, people were calling up and saying, dude, we're all going to die. And they were just terrified, And I was like, look, I've told you guys over and over again, this is the biggest part of the programming. It's the fear. Number one, first and foremost, don't buy into the fear, So And I kept telling them, look, they say that there's like a 2-week incubation period before you know if you have it or not. So can you make it 2 weeks? And they're like, yeah, I can make it 2 weeks. Okay, well then just try not to be afraid, And here we are like a year later. And I'm like, we made it. Look, yay.
Yeah. They kept saying, just 2 weeks, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, you guys can do it. You guys remember that, right? You guys can do 2 weeks, can't you?
Yeah.
But look, that's what I'm saying is, this is what I always say. It's no matter what it is, we're going to get through it. You know how I know that? Because we always do. And because the other option really isn't an option. So if you just stay cool, if you can just stay cool for 2 weeks, we'll get through it, man. But you know what? If you get too crazy, if you get too wrapped up in the fear, then you might make a huge mistake and misstep. And then you might not get through it because you didn't stay cool.
Yeah, man. I was wrapped up in the fear real bad for a couple months, probably the past year. But recently I've just had a realization that this fear is destroying me. It's destroying my mental state. It's making me go freaking crazy. It's making me unhappy all the time.
Yeah.
And you know what I say? Just be here now.
Yeah.
You know Ram Dass?
Sure.
You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy, that's his phrase, be here now. And it's such a good phrase because it succinctly puts pretty much...
Well, I mean, you have to explain it in more detail than that. The truth is that now is all there really is. Everything else, like the past, if you have a memory that's bothering you, the past is simply a chemical reaction in your brain. It's not even what happened, really. It's just like some chemical reaction that kind of makes you think you know what happened, and it makes you feel like you're experiencing it right now, but you're not. All you can experience, all you can enjoy. A lot of people are afraid of next month. How am I going to pay my bills next month? Every month you pay your fucking bills, I read a Mark Twain quote today. It said, worrying is like paying a debt that you don't owe. It's like you're you're carrying around this burden, and it's not even a thing that is real. So it's stay cool. We'll get through it. I tell people that so much.
But, the other thing is that a little bit of fear is healthy, because if there is something that's an actual threat, and then you know what's going to happen, if you're not scared of it a little bit, you're going to get whatever.
Well, what is it that is a threat that's going to happen? Give me an example.
For instance, if there was a guy who's threatening to stab you or something.
Right, but that's not fear of something that could happen. That's actually something that you're presented with in this moment. People will walk around being afraid to go downtown because they might get stabbed if they go downtown. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. That's completely worthless. But when you're downtown, it's good to be aware of your surroundings, especially if you understand that. See, I basically, when I go downtown, I just figure it's a combat zone. But I don't act like it. I don't carry that burden on my shoulders every step. I'm la 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 la, but I'm aware of everything around me.
Yeah, if you project the fact that you're aware, I think it naturally leads people to not try and target you.
Yeah, if you act like sheep, the wolves will rip you apart.
Anyway, man, I've had a really good talk with you, but I gotta go now.
Okay, thanks for calling.
I appreciate it, man.
Call back soon. Call back anytime.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay, see ya. And this, I know, I just say the same shit over and over again, night after night. But it's like new people, and I mean, this is like with Laura the other night. She's like, fear, 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 and I wanted to tell him, this thing about fear, this thing about if something's gonna happen. Like he said there at the end of the conversation, he said, if something's going to happen. I said, well, what do you know is going to happen? He said, if somebody's there with a knife, well, that's different. That's not like you imagining that you're not going to be able to pay your bills next month. But what oh, dang it, I lost my train of thought. I'm having a problem with my train of thought. I hear different things. I see things. I'm a little distracted. Hello, caller.
Michael.
act like cheese, Michael.
Like cheese?
Act like cheese. Parmesan cheese is like giving acid to a dog. Dogs love Parmesan, Michael.
Dogs love lots of things. Is that a big puff?
No, that was Darth Vader has left the building.
Oh.
That was Darth Vader leaving.
Okay.
Hi,
What's up, G?
I'm stoned. How about you? Are you stoned?
I'm working on it. I owe Wilco a bong hit. Again, Wilco kicks down a donation, you guys. And he's here every night working, volunteering his time. And he kicks down a donation. So, and why? In order to make sure I didn't get no donations this week. That's what kind of great people I have on my team. Go ahead.
Parmesan cheese will protect you from COVID-19, Michael.
Yeah, I heard hot beverages is very good protection.
I just put ice up my nose, and I feel like I'm freezing the little buggers to death. You know?
Ice, as in like glass, as in like crystal meth.
No. Ice, real ice.
Oh, okay.
People. Then I go to the store, and it's all dripping out of my mask.
Yeah.
No. You know what's happening in America, my friend, is we're being gaslighted. This is mass gaslighting by the weaponized media, and they've already trauma bonded the population. So, that's when they shock people so badly, and then they say, "Oh, I love you," and then they shock you again, and they make you afraid and confused, and then, "Oh, yeah, you stay with me, we'll make you safe," and that you're trauma bonded to the person who is actually tormenting you, and that's why there isn't a mass rebellion right now, because most people are trauma bonded by the weaponized media, and it's exactly the way a psychopath will trauma bond their victim.
I find it so odd that people pick a side. I hate them. I just despise them all. I just can't. How can you pick, this side is right? Fuck that. What the fuck are you talking about? That side just fucking funded a bill that says you are a potential enemy combatant and we can spy on absolutely everything you do with zero search warrant. You have no privacy. Those are the good guys? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, we're really talking about neocons when you're talking about Joe Biden. He pretty much wrote the Patriot Act in 1994. They used something he wrote as a model for the Patriot Act. So that's your president right now. This is some good guy, some moderate guy. He's not moderate. He's a warmonger. He's got a history of warmongering. And, Trump was unusual, but he was inadequate, We need somebody way better than that. And even then, you're pushing a boulder, man. You're lucky if you can move it a fraction of an inch. You need a lot of weight to push this empire machine over a little bit. It really needs reconstruction. It's a broken machine that only operates in one way. The operating system is broken on the American computer, which we call the government,
I don't think it's broken. I think it's working just the way they want it to. I mean, it's not working for Americans, but I think it's working just the way that the people who run it want it to work.
Yeah. Well, it's not working for us.
Yeah.
It's a broken system. It's not working for us. And it takes a lot of effort to change something so entrenched. I mean, the military-industrial complex was entrenched in the 1920s. It was already pillaging South America and Guam and the Philippines. And
Yeah. No, the military-industrial complex has been building for a long time.
Yeah, and that's a century ago, man. So we're playing catch up, and we got to try to get smart. I came across this term today called warrior poet. Now, I always considered myself to be some kind of something like that, but I never really knew what it meant. And according to a certain code, it means to preserve the ancient origins of religion and spirituality. I can go without that. Seek communion with the feminine face of God. Practice the discipline of daily prayerful meditation. Use one's strength only to protect and uphold the weak. Always hold and represent justice with fairness. Actively pursue scholarly studies of the truth. Strive to embody and exemplify the virtue of wisdom. Respect and include wisdom in balanced harmony. Live by simplicity, modesty, humility. Practice moderation as the foundations of discipline. Shun all forms of pride in oneself and others. Avoid and oppose all forms of gossip and defamation. That's the Knights Templar Code from 1150.
Fucking Knights Templar is disgusting. Do you know anything about Knights Templar?
Yeah, I know.
They were fucking evil motherfuckers.
No, man.
Yes, man. They do fucking sacrifices and shit.
No, man. They weren't. They were warriors amongst a group of warrior merchants is what they were, and they had some virtuous ways that I just listed off to you. And just like every other group, they went bad in certain areas, and they got slaughtered on Friday the 13th by the Prince Philip the Fair and Pope Innocent, I think it was. He wasn't so fucking innocent. And the last surviving leader of the Templars cursed both Philip and the Pope, and they both died within a year. So that's the history of it. That's part of the history. But yeah, Friday the 13th was the day that the Catholics and the French killed the Templars, and they fled to Northern Europe. Man, but they started. Obviously, they were into Mary Magdalene. That's part of what I read to you. But they were also into John the Baptist, very, very heavy. And that's some of the secrets that they held was about John the Baptist and Mary Magdalene. But it's a cult, an ancient cult. But the point is, we gotta, what does that have to do with fucking America? We just gotta, I'm not saying join a group or a cult or because the Democrats and the Republicans and everything is a cult, but develop virtue and discernment within your own soul and mind and body, and that's the way we fight the great machine. Is each one of us has to fight it, and not depend on some external savior who's going to fucking come out of the sky and protect us from Joe Biden and the machine, That's the only reason I brought that up. Besides the fact that I'm stoned as hell. Hello?
Yeah. I look. I understand the Knights Templar to be blood drinking, sacrificers. I don't think that they are a good example. Their code of honor, sure, but I'm sure that Catholic priests have something similar.
Well, the Catholics, they had Opus Dei and all kinds of weird fucking groups, man. And they're all cults. I'm not pushing the Knights Templar. I'm pushing virtue and wisdom and the warrior poet, which is what I strive for myself, the warrior poet. So. We don't. Who do we got? Rand Paul? He's not a warrior poet. We don't.
Fuck Rand Paul. Rand Paul sucks, dude.
John Lennon was a warrior poet. The Hoover, the FBI guy Hoover, and Nixon and the American government. Just go see a free movie on YouTube. It's called the U.S. versus John Lennon, and it's for free now. You used to have to pay for it years ago, but they were after John Lennon. They didn't want him to be in America or to be in New York, and they were afraid of him, and he was hooked to the Black Panthers and the anti-war movement. And what did the government at that time do? Less than they did to Julian Assange. Less, but still they made his life miserable.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, again, this is what I keep, this is the title of the video tonight, the show, should people live in fear of their governments? I can't stand. Clearly, what I see is that that's what the people in Washington, D.C. want, is they want us to live in constant 24/7 fear of this piece of shit criminal government.
Yeah, and instead of, like a psychopath, instead of saying, we're your enemy and we're here to eat you, they're saying, we're your friend.
We're public servants.
We're going to protect you from the bad guys.
We're protecting your rights. We're protecting your rights. We swore a vow to do so.
That's trauma bonding. That's what a psychopath does, is they make you feel like they're your friend while they're fucking you.
We're your protectors. We're here to protect you.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, it's a disgusting situation, but we'll see our way through it somehow. But you gotta be aware of the fucking freak show. It's like they're literally holding puppets up and just doing a little dance, and then everybody falls for it, and that's the state of American political affairs.
Well, I think it's, again, I go up on the couch, buddy. Go up on the couch. Up. I think it's, again, they pick a side. See, it's a desperation thing. This picking a side is that you don't want to go. Our country, our government is the great Satan on this planet. You don't want to think that. You want to think, oh no, our country is great. Right, our country's great. Our government is a scourge on this planet. Okay, they do evil every fucking square inch of this planet they can find to do evil on. That's who the people in Washington, D.C. are.
The same people who said it was okay to declare war on Yemen are now in power again.
Go up on the couch. Right. These people are evil, dude. I can't. It's like Wilco says, say hello to the new Zog, same as the old Zog. Thanks, Wilco. I like that one.
And, I haven't done a deep dive into it, but Biden just did something with Yemen, like we're going to halt all unnecessary sales to Saudi Arabia and try to make peace with Yemen. That's nice talk, dude, but there's people who are talking about that very deal is just a farce, unnecessary. What does that mean, unnecessary? That means we're feeding you a load of bullshit right now, and we're not interested in peace in Yemen, nor are they interested
peace?
in...
Who the fuck makes money off of peace? Certainly not war profiteers.
Right, yeah. I mean, I don't trust Joe Biden. I think whatever piece of paper they shove in front of him, oh, what's this? Okay, there's my signature. Hold it up. Oh, what a great guy.
Yeah.
He can write his name. What a great guy. It's all bullshit. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. It's just more of the same. A different clown in a different costume.
Talking to different suckers.
Yep. I got really stoned, man. I found a really good bud in my hors d'oeuvre tray.
Oh, awesome.
And Craig was telling me you feed Parmesan bagels to the dogs.
I don't feed bagels to the dogs. No, I do not.
Oh, so Craig feeds the Parmesan bagels to the dogs.
I don't know. I make them quesadillas.
Yeah, well, if a dog's sense of smell is 100 times greater than a human sense of smell, and Parmesan cheese is one of the most pungent cheeses known to man, it's got to be like giving acid to a dog. It's like, oh my God, what is this? Oh, la, 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 la. So
can't hear you.
Yeah, psychedelic dogs, man.
See, they know all kinds of food, man. You say pizza, and they're like, what? You say cheeseburgers, like, I do like cheeseburgers. That is true. They know I mean, donuts, it's ice cream. They know all. I'm like, Rufus is just over there twitching, going, huh?
Well, that's cool. That they know 4 English words, you know.
No, they know a ton of words, dude. They get talked to like they're people all day long.
And in every country, people don't think about this, but in every country on earth, no matter what language they use, the dogs, the pets, learn that language. Like, Smurfaloff, and the dog starts salivating, you know. But I'm like Pavlov's cat. It's like, I'm just going to keep licking myself while Pavlov's ringing his bell. Pavlov right now is the government ringing their bell, and we're all supposed to, like, hide in our bomb shelters, you know, because Trump and Putin attacked the Capitol on January 6th. So let's all hide in our bomb shelters. Still, the revolution is over. It's like, so, I'm not a fucking dog where you can ring a bell and I'm going to panic. But I'll stop talking now, Mike, because my mouth just ran out of words.
Right on. Well, I hope you have a good weekend. Is that a big bud you got to enjoy?
I got all kinds of big buds.
No, you said you found an extra special one. Never mind. Fuck.
Okay.
Try and keep up, dude.
All right. Take care, dude.
Okay, see ya. All right, so I am gonna play a video for you guys about what was it? Oh, decriminalize. Oh, we already played that one. Hold on. Pepper spraying 9-year-old in handcuffs. There's an audio recording. You guys remember I played that video for you, I think like 10 days ago or 2 weeks ago, something like that, of the 9-year-old girl that was handcuffed, then pepper sprayed by 6 giant cops that were surrounding her. They couldn't handle a handcuffed 9-year-old girl without spraying pepper spray directly into her face. You know, it's such a sad state of events that this government is trying so hard to make everyone live in constant fear of it, that little children are terrified. I've seen video of a kid playing basketball in his driveway, and he saw a cop car coming, and he ran and hid because that's how afraid they are. It's so sad. Where is that video? Let's see. There it is. Number 12. Here we go.
Released police body cam video shows the moments after Rochester, New York police pepper sprayed a 9-year-old girl. In the video, you can hear her saying, quote, "Please don't do this." Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren ordered the video's release. The incident happened last month when the girl's custodial parent called police saying the child was going to hurt herself as well as others. 4 officers who were involved say they detained the girl after she kicked at them. They later used pepper spray after she refused orders to put her feet in the police car.
Officer, please don't do this to me. You did it to yourself, hon. Right, it's burning my eyes. Yep, that's the point of pepper spray. The ambulance is on their way and they will clear your eyes out.
News Nation spoke with the girl's mother shortly after this all happened. She says her daughter simply deserves better.
The first response should not be RPD, because obviously RPD doesn't know how to handle these, situations.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo called the video shocking and disturbing. In addition to the release of that video, the mayor announced a public database of police disciplinary records under the state's civil service law.
Also tonight, a 75-year-old man in Buffalo, New York, is reacting to a decision to drop felony assault charges against the police officers who shoved him to the ground, fracturing his skull. It happened last summer during a protest over police brutality. Martin Gugino says the officers could have made an arrest without hurting him, and he argues he and other protesters should have had the right to demonstrate freely under the First Amendment. A police union president says officers acted on orders to clear the area after a curfew took effect. You're going to hear from Gugino and the union president in our next half hour.
You shouldn't injure people. You can just arrest them. What's the problem with arresting them? That would have been normal.
That is the reaction from Martin Gugino when he learned charges were dropped against the police officers who fractured his skull during a protest last year. A grand jury declined to indict both officers on felony assault charges, and surveillance video shows them shoving Gugino to the ground as they were clearing a protest over police brutality. A curfew had just gone into effect. Both officers are still suspended. Gugino says he and other protesters should have been able to assemble under the First Amendment, and he adds what both officers have gone through since the incident is terrible.
They're nice people as far as, I mean, they've always been nice people, and I've talked to them before. They're nice people. So I was really surprised to end up, unconscious and in the hospital.
The police union president says officers acted on orders to clear the area, and he noted the entire emergency response team disbanded after the district attorney filed charges in the case.
There's my beautiful baby. Hi, boo-boo. How's my beautiful baby? Okay, so let's see. You guys remember that where the dude was protesting and the cops came up behind him? No. They were in front of him and he was just standing there and they just shoved him, right? They just hit him right in the chest. I don't know if there's two of them at the same time that hit him. It seemed like one of them was pushing him and then the other one came up and punched him. And he went straight down pretty much. And then he cracked his skull open he blacked out, cracked his skull open on the sidewalk, and the cops just stand there. He could bleed out like that. You bleed very fast from a lot of blood up there. So it's again, this is the police state that we live in, and apparently those guys did absolutely nothing wrong. Cracking that guy's skull open and then just standing around doing nothing. They did absolutely nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing. This is America. This is our government. This is our justice system. Again, we must recognize the common enemy. They could, if not to you, they could do that same exact thing to your mom or your dad or your grandfather, right? They don't care who those persons is, right? They, I've seen them. I've shown video of the cops pepper spraying. Again, you just saw it there, 9-year-old girl. I've shown video of them pepper spraying in downtown Seattle, 81-year-old woman. I showed you them shooting a fucking flashbang grenade into the chest of a 90-pound girl, stopping her heart immediately. I've shown you that video again and again and again. This is the government. Do you think they want us to be afraid? Do you think they want us to live in constant terror? Do you want that for a government? This is what we have. I know we can do better if we can just recognize the common enemy instead of buying into the bullshit divide. It's really that simple. That one's for you, Wilco. Thanks a bunch, bro. Again, Wilco being the only one who donated today so far. The only one who donated this week so far. Thanks, Wilco. And he shows up every day to help make sure that this show goes off without a hitch. So, and then he kicks down to make sure that I don't get no donations this week. Thank you very much, Wilco. It's very nice of you. And that's the kind of people I got on this team, so you know. Let's see. I have more videos. Did I mention that I came to play videos? I came here prepared, people. I come here prepared. And that doesn't happen by me snapping my fingers. So you know, I have many more videos. These titles, these images for the thumbnails. You know, this is, and again, this is like it's a consistent thing. You know, where the message isn't way over there and way over there and. You know, oh no, that's one of the good ones. You know, fuck Rand Paul. Rand Paul's not one of the good ones. There are no good. All of them must go to jail. It's just, we have to do this. Again, it's the only way that we get anything different than what we've had for the last 50 years. Or at least since 9/11. The only way is by making examples of people who think that they can make us live in fear of our government. Because it's not the way it's supposed to be. This is the land of the free, so they say. And I'd like to try some way to keep it that way. And the only way that's going to happen is if we can recognize the common enemy that is the only true threat to our freedom. And it ain't Iran. And it ain't China. And it ain't Russia. Ain't North Korea. They're not a threat to our freedom. The only people that chip away at our freedom on a daily basis are the people in Washington, D.C. and their ever-expanding police state. Okay? Fight for freedom. You either fight for freedom or you fight for the police state. And I mean, left, right, doesn't matter. Left and right, they are the police state. So you stand and fight for freedom. You stand with freedom or you stand with the police state. And, you know, I can't see why you would. You like living in constant fear of your government. You like your government acting as if they can threaten you to take away your home, take away your business, take away your cars, take your bank accounts. You think that's the kind of government you should have? Okay. I guess we'll have to play another video since we don't have any phone callers. You guys can see the number on the screen, right? 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. There was a firefighter arrested in Seattle this evening for threatening a local politician. Breaking news. I thought you guys might want to hear about that.
I'm Lindsay Sheldon at the live desk. Today, Seattle police arrested a 42-year-old Seattle Fire Department employee, saying that he threatened Seattle City Council member Shama Sawant. Now, we have confirmed that firefighter EMT Andy Finseth was taken into custody this morning while coming off duty. He is accused of sending threats from a co-worker's email address in late 2020 and early 2021. Finseth was nominated by his peers and won Firefighter of the Year in 2018. Seattle Fire says that he has been put on paid administrative leave. Last month, Councilmember Shama Sawant called for an investigation of the emails she was receiving. One message read, "Time to announce your expiration. The time is here, and you will not have a place after tomorrow, Councilwoman. Announce your resignation now or else." Finseth has been booked into the King County Jail on investigation of cyber stalking, identity theft, and computer trespass charges. At the live desk, Lindsay Sheldon, Cairo 7 News.
Alcohol's a hell of a drug, huh? I would be very careful. I don't know if you guys saw the South Park episode where they had to banish Mr. Hanky from town because he was taking Ambien and tweeting bad things at night. Very funny. It is so strange how art imitates life, isn't it? Or is it the other way? Life imitates art. Is that? I'm not sure how that saying goes. Let's see. I'm going to just keep playing videos, again, because I came prepared. But I'm going to keep playing videos until I get a phone call. And if I don't get a phone call, then we're out of here. So you know. Because this is about us. All. You guys. Me. Us. All. We have to recognize. And I thought the first two phone callers were pretty cool. And Michael too. Michael was cool. Whatever. Okay, here you go. A new billionaire was created today, and she's kind of cute. I thought you guys might want to know.
Well, the women-centric dating app Bumble is a hit on Wall Street. The Austin, Texas-based company went public yesterday, and News Nation's Ashley Ketz is here to explain why Bumble's CEO is making history with this debut. Ashley.
Well, this week, Whitney Wolfe Herd became one of the few women in the world who can now add billionaire to her title.
In a yellow power suit with a baby on her hip, Whitney Wolfe Herd joins a small group of self-made female billionaires. The 31-year-old's company, Bumble, is now trading on Wall Street. According to Forbes, this makes her the world's youngest billionaire. Wolfe Herd founded the popular dating app that puts women in the driver's seat.
Bumble has basically turned upside, on its head, sort of the traditional norms of the guy leading the dating process. So Bumble really puts the woman at the center.
And the woman at the center shared her reaction to the launch on Twitter Thursday, writing, "This is possible thanks to the more than 1.7 billion first moves made by brave women on our app and the pioneering women who paved the way for us in the business world."
If you look at the leadership roles that are happening in business and government, it's really been a huge shift for women in leadership. And again, it's still not where it will be and should be.
Of the 559 companies that have gone public in the past year, just 3, including Bumble, have female founders. Wolfe Herd tweeted, "I hope to tell my son one day, hopefully by the time he can understand, women and mothers leading public companies will be the norm, not the exception."
I think it's wildly encouraging with the dad of 2 daughters. It's great to see.
It is also fitting that Bumble went public the week of Valentine's Day. Today, Bumble shares rose 13.5%, extending its big first day gains. Marnie.
Ashley, thank you.
I mean, she's not like Ariana Grande cute, but I totally hit that, right? Kind of yummy. So, and I bet she could probably get us a pretty cool hotel room. So, I'm just saying. Let's see. I guess I'll have to play another video since I didn't get any donations, and it is Dabs for Donations Friday. Can't really. I did the first one for free, and then I did the one for Wolko because he's, a champion among men. And waiting for our next champion to come along, but I'm not seeing it. It's not in my email, not in my. It's not in my PayPal. It's not in my Patrone. It's not. It's not in my Bitcoin wallet. But I'm waiting. But I have videos. Again, I came prepared. And I will play another video for you if that's what you want. I can do that. Again, what I was talking about earlier was that one of the things I'm hearing again and again in these impeachment hearings is that the politicians, they remember how afraid they were. They remember how much fear there was that day, and that's where the title of this video comes from. It's this: people should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. And that for a moment, it seems like maybe they felt that way for a moment. And I just, that the idea of that fills my soul, right? People call and ask, do you see any hope? And I'm like, Were you not there on January 6th? You know, again, I see that as a very small protest of very peaceful people. So, you know, I mean, I'm pretty clear on that. That was a small group of people on January 6th at the U.S. Capitol. Very small group of people that were quite peaceful. And if you don't see that, you're not trying to see what's happening. You're not trying to get what's happening. You're not trying to understand. You just want to blame Donald Trump. So I don't, you know, that's the people's house. Those were Americans. Just like the BLM protesters are Americans. Just like the Occupy protesters are Americans. You know, fighting for freedom. And again, I see that as one. Especially when I hear this, you know, this thing where it's like, oh, I remember how we feared, how afraid we were that day, how close we came to death. And it made me think of this, you know, V for Vendetta, which if you guys have not seen it, again, it's all about what's happening in the world right now. V for Vendetta, the movie, all about what's happening in the world right now. But there was a quote from it that was, you know, people should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. And when I hear the politicians talking about how afraid they were, I think, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Because you don't get to hear that. We have to live in constant fear of our government because our government is evil and can't wait to take our freedoms away. Can't wait. You guys all. And if you don't believe that, you know, oh no, you're a conservative and that's not what it is. How come you keep whining about they're coming for your guns? Okay? It's the same. They're taking away our freedoms every single fucking day. It doesn't matter right or left. They're the same. Not that I want you to live in fear. I want you to recognize the enemy. Instead of thinking that, you know, oh, if my neighbor breathes on me, I might die. So I have to stay far away from my neighbor. Social distancing. You know, look, better safe than sorry. Do what you got to do there. But don't buy into the fear. Don't be afraid. And recognize who the real threat to your freedom is. And it's not your neighbor. And it's not Iran, and it's not China, and it's not Russia. It is the government. And on January 6th, for just a moment in time, the government was afraid of its people. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Capitol now, where the legal team for former President Trump presented its defense today in his second impeachment trial. They'd been sharply criticized, even by fellow Republicans, for an often rambling performance on Tuesday. Well, today they went on the attack, using just 2.5 hours of the 16 hours allotted to them. They denied the president incited the deadly January 6th invasion of the Capitol, and they tried to paint President Trump as the victim of a political vendetta by Democrats.
It is constitutional cancel culture. It has become very clear that the House Democrats hate Donald Trump. Nothing in the text could ever be construed as encouraging, condoning, or enticing unlawful activity.
That opinion is not shared by most Democrats or by polls of most Americans. Trump's legal team attacked the House impeachment managers, claiming they did no investigating of their own.
Rather than yelling at us and screaming about how we didn't have time to get all of the facts about what your client did, bring your client up here and have him testify under oath.
At least 17 Republicans would have to side with Democrats to convict former President Trump. Most observers say that seems unlikely. That vote could happen as soon as tomorrow.
In Washington, Senator Patty Murray is opening up about her experience during the Capitol riot.
My husband sat with his foot against the door, praying that it would not break him. I was not safe.
Wow. New at 6, more of her experience and why she says she will not let fear guide her impeachment vote.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming.
Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am? You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
Illusions of musical dopeness. I love that commercial. Okay, let's see. I'm getting down. I'm running. I have more, but I'm running out of videos here. I'm crossing the impeachment one off. But you saw what I said, right? That at the end of that video was Senator Murray, who's a Washington state senator. And she was like, fear, 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 fear. We were fearful. We were so afraid. I remember. And I hope, again, that she does remember. And I hope that she thinks about, again, and see, this is the problem, though. They're just trying to blame the whole thing on Donald Trump. Like, there's no reason why the people might be angry at anyone in the House. Like, those people in the House are just doing the people's business with the NDAA, with the Patriot Act, with, keeping the drug war fully funded and all these other wars, spending trillions of dollars that could be funding an infrastructure project that creates millions of new jobs back and forth across America. These people are scumbags. And I'm glad that they were afraid. I really hope they were afraid. I really hope they were afraid. Because that's what they deserve. That's the way it's supposed to be, especially if they're not doing the people's business. They should know that the people do have access to us. And oh my gosh, and they are. They all get their security pay now. They all get their extra security pay, so they can travel around on private jets and don't have to go anywhere through like public airport terminals and stuff like that, And they can actually hire, security. I think, if that's the kind of government, if our public servants, if our so-called representatives need that kind of security, is it really just from Donald Trump supporters? And if that's true, how come, Mitch McConnell needs the same thing? I mean, it's just wrong, dude. It's just a load of bullshit. And if you buy into either side is right. I'm not saying Donald Trump is right. I hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump is horrible. Donald Trump could have done some really great things, even in the last minutes of his presidency, when he knew that they were fucking him over so hard. He could have done some great, great things. Did nothing. It bailed on the people that he told to go fight like hell. Donald Trump is a tremendous disappointment at the very least. Not that I had any expectations for the man. He's just a fucking carnival barker salesman, But he makes these people in Congress look so out of touch. He makes he makes himself look like more a man of the people than the people in Congress. The people in Congress, in order to stay there and feel safe, have to surround the place in a martial law lockdown with 10-foot tall razor wire fences. That's the only way they can feel safe. In the people's house, doing the people's business. This is the government we have. Okay? And I don't want to just, I want a government we can believe in. I don't want to complain about our government. I'd love to be able to say we got the greatest government in the world. I would love to be able to say we have the greatest police in the world. We have police and government that fight for our freedom, that care about its people. I'd really like to be able to say that. What I see is a police state that thinks that you need to be babysat every single moment of every single day, because otherwise you might draw outside the lines. And we can't have that, can we? How are we going to stay in the 1930s if we have all you people drawing outside the lines? Which they probably did a lot more in the 1930s than you people do now, so you know. Just guessing. But these people in charge want us stuck in the 1930s. Okay? Coming war, coming war, coming war. They want us stuck in the 1930s where we don't need a new, we have this is a great infrastructure. And only in the 1930s, they just built, and we're in the process of building the greatest infrastructure. And then all they did was patch it, patch it, patch it. You know? You look at all these places where they have these amazing electric trains. We don't have anything like that. Again, because stuff that runs on electricity is evil, in case you're not aware of that in America. You know, I just want a future that looks bright for whoever it is that's coming behind us. And that's what I've come to try and fight for day after day. Even if the message doesn't get out, you know, at least I try and get it out. And I have for a long, long time. So, if you're not going to call, I'm going to play another video. Let's see. Biden impeachment. Did I do that one already? I think so. We're running low. Oh, Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley threw the President Trump underneath the bus today because because he was so horrible to her. Although it's not because he was so horrible to her. He was really, really good to her. It's because all the politicians are the same. They're all the same. Again, like I keep saying, they're all the same. They're all our enemy. She's a governor. She thinks you need to be governed. Otherwise, you might draw outside the lines. And again, a horrible piece of shit who's going to run for president in 2024, just like all the other horrible pieces of shit, instead of getting somebody like Elon Musk. Elon Musk 2024. I'm saying it again. I'll keep saying it until we get something better than this fucking bunch of cunts.
More political news tonight. A potential 2024 GOP presidential candidate says Donald Trump has no future in the Republican Party. Nikki Haley criticizing the former president in a new interview with Politico magazine, saying he has, quote, fallen so far. She also said we need to acknowledge he let us down. He went down a path he shouldn't have, and we shouldn't have followed him, and we shouldn't have listened to him, and we can't let that ever happen again. Now, Haley, who's rumored to have her own political ambitions, says she has not talked to Mr. Trump since the January 6th riot, saying she is angry over his treatment of then VP Mike Pence. But she also says the impeachment proceedings are a, quote, waste of time. Haley, as you might remember, served as ambassador to the UN from 2017 to the next year. Before that, she was the first female governor of South Carolina.
Sorry, I got caught up in typing. Okay. So again, there's no difference. Nikki Haley, you know, it's just the same as all these other people. You know, Chris Christie. I think Trump made the stupid mistake that Obama made. Not that they, you know, not that they weren't supposed to make this mistake, but they go in there and they surround themselves with these professional politicians. And professional politicians are just, you know, there's no loyalty, right? It's like, no, I'm just waiting to sell whoever out I have to sell out, including myself, so that I can get a spot on ABC News. Right, Chris Christie? Which, I don't know who the fuck hires Chris Christie, but I sure wouldn't want to sit at a round table with him. Because I bet you that guy farts nonstop. I'd just be willing to bet on it, that's all. Oh, I have a really cool video for you here. I think you guys might enjoy this one. I'll play it for you now. I don't know why that video didn't work. I'll have to go and look and see if it didn't get moved over or something. That video didn't seem to work. I will check it in a moment. It was about a woman who saw a guy outside her home peeping into her daughter's window, and she called the police, and when he saw her, he started to run away, and she ran over and tackled him like a fucking football player, and it all got caught on a dash cam video. I had that video for you, but for some reason it didn't play. So I will check that out and see why. Let's see, what do we got here? I'm pretty much out of videos, you guys, and I brought a bunch of them. See, look at all the videos I brought. All these videos right here. Let me play something for you real quick, and I'll be right back and see where that other one is, because that was a good video. I don't want you to miss it in case you haven't already seen it. Just give me a minute.
That Trump won the election. Among the suspects' possessions, this is real, a white privilege card. I want you to take a look at this. It's a fake white privilege credit card. Subtitle, Trump's everything. The card holder, scot-free, with 2 T's. Scot-free is actually spelled with 1 T, but, you know, 2 T's on that card. That one piece of evidence, an insight into the man's state of mind, that he could get away with anything because of his skin color. His lawyer saying this to CNN. This was a guy simply following the advice and the commentary of the President of the United States. So tonight, the acting chief of the Capitol Police proposing security fencing erected around the Capitol in the wake of the deadly insurrection stay up permanently. Also, police say a man arrested near the Capitol was armed with a gun and 20 rounds of ammunition, and a list of lawmakers' names. The House Speaker Nancy Pelosi responding to concerns about security by members of Congress, saying the enemy is within the House of Representatives. With all this, President Biden pushing for bipartisan support to pass his massive nearly $2 trillion COVID relief plan. Let's get right to it. CNN's White House correspondent is John Harwood, and our senior political analyst is John Avalon. How will we distinguish? I guess I'll have to say last names. Good evening to both of you. Mr. Harwood, President Biden trying to restore access to health care, pushing hard behind the scenes to get a COVID relief package through on the heels of dismal economic news. Where do negotiations stand tonight?
Well, they've got a ways to go. There's a lot of details that are going to get changed, and it's unclear what the composition of the final coalition behind the legislation will be. But one thing that both the Biden White House, Democrats in Congress, their outside allies are increasingly confident of is that they're going to get a very large bill. If not precisely Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion, something close to that. And that potentially has a huge impact on the country and on the Biden presidency. It will speed the end of the pandemic with the funds for vaccines and testing and all the steps needed to try to get the pandemic under control. It will sustain people who are hurting, who are jobless through the next few months while we get to the end, and it will lift the overall economy. Economists tell me, Don, that passing of this bill or something close to this bill will take the 4% growth we expect for this year and turn it into 6% growth, that it will restore the U.S. economy to full employment by the end of 2022 instead of 2023. That is a tremendous upside for Joe Biden and for Democrats as they look ahead to 2022 midterm elections in which their majorities are going to be threatened.
So, Mr. Avalon, you next. So we're living in two different universes, right? The Biden team trying to focus on facts and science, and Republicans are giving key committee assignments to conspiracy theorists like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who spouts racist and xenophobic lies. That's quite the contrast.
It's as stark as it gets, and it says too much about the state of our politics today. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene getting a seat on the Education Committee when she's, inflamed conspiracy theories about school shootings. This person hasn't met a conspiracy theory she never liked, whether it's not being a 9/11 truther or QAnon. And the question is, what's too much? And the actions of the Republican leadership is to say, well, we really need to cool down internal dissent, treating Liz Cheney and Madam Kinzinger as someone equally divisive, destructive, and anti-reason.
You may have seen this right here on News Nation last night. A Texas mom jumping into action to take down a man that she suspected.
Okay, I got that video there. So in case you guys want to see that one, I'll play it for you in just a minute. Let's see. I have that video. I think that's it. I think I played the Biden. Let's see, impeachment fear. Oh no, I have another one. Oh, and Biden immigration policy. I have a video about the Biden immigration policy, and I'm gonna play the decriminalized drugs one again because I like that one, and I played it early in the show, and so you guys might not have seen it. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna heat up the bong. And while I play that one, even though I haven't seen another donation other than Wilco, but I'm ready for a bong hit. Ready for a bong hit, boo boo? Ready for a bong hit, buddy? Yeah, when you bong hit, huh? Yeah, bong hit time, huh, buddy? Yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. You're my beautiful baby. I'm running low on gas. I gotta get another tank of gas. Oh, wait. Remember I told you we went to the Home Depot the other day and there was no tanks of gas? Fuck. What the hell, man? I don't like those little green ones. I don't like those ones for some reason. I think they don't fit in your hand quite as nicely as as the blue cylinders. Stay away from the green cylinders, dude. The blue cylinders are way better. I hope you guys are looking forward to a most excellent weekend. Oh, I was going to play a drug video for you, huh? Let's play a drug video. It's snowing here. I think we're going to go take the dogs for a snow adventure. Because they're snow dogs. They love the snow. I don't know. I think that they're part husky. But Craig seems to think that they have different daddies. So I'll play the decriminalization one for you, and I'll be right back.
One of the most controversial bills this legislative session in Olympia. A new proposal would decriminalize what they call personal amounts of illegal drugs.
As KOMO's Matt Markovich reports, the bill is already getting international attention.
There are two parts to this bill, but only one real controversial part that would allow personal amounts of fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, and other illegal drugs. The definition of a personal amount hasn't been defined, but would be established by a panel that would include prosecutors, like the King County and Snohomish County prosecutors who support it.
And it's a bill that is supported by communities all over the state and not a bunch of fuzzy-headed, progressive-centric elites.
One group spoke against it during public testimony.
We are concerned that this may lead to a change in public perception that these drugs are more acceptable.
The former president of Switzerland even testified in favor calling out the U.S. for having the highest rate of drug offenders in prison of developed nations.
Authorities at all levels must urgently decriminalize the possession of drugs for personal use.
The second part of the bill, less controversial, called for more treatment and jail diversion programs for people caught with illegal drugs, but that's the expensive part. In Seattle, Matt Markovich, Como News.
I really like that. President of Switzerland, President of Sweden, she is talking about how it's like, you, in America, you're the only Western civilized country that has, you know, millions and millions and millions of people locked up for this. You know, what's the deal? And it just perpetuates the situation. The drug war has brought us a heroin epidemic. In those videos, they act like the worst thing could possibly happen is people could have drugs. But the thing is, I mean, because they show, you know, people heating up heroin or whatever the fuck they're heating up. I don't know what the fuck they're heating up. I'm going to do a dab now. They act like the worst thing that could possibly happen in the land of the free is that you have, you have permission, not permission, but you have the ability to decide what you ingest with your body. You know, what kind of substances that you like to get high on work best for you. And this is the deal. In all the countries where they legalize these things, the use goes down. So, in Portugal, again, all drugs are legal. And they don't have this heroin epidemic thing going on like we do here. I don't even think they have fentanyl problem in that country. Here, people are dying left and right. I see pretty much every other day on the news, some kid dies from ODing on fentanyl. A couple days ago, some kid died on Zantac laced with fentanyl. It's like, who in the hell does this shit appeal to, right? I'm like, oh, yummy, I gotta go down to the party store and get me some Zantac laced with fentanyl, which is something that you wouldn't get at the party store because no one wants that. No one wants that shit. Okay, there is so many wonderful substances that we can party on for years to come, healthily, and be healthy, and party on, Wayne, party on, Garth. We can do that, except for the police state makes it very, very dangerous because there's a black market, and the black market doesn't care who they're selling it to, whether it be your teenage son or daughter, or whoever. They don't care who they're selling. They don't care what they're selling, as long as it makes them money. And your kid was stupid. You took too much. Not our fault. This wouldn't be happening if there was no war on drugs. This is what the war on drugs has brought you. This is what this pretend security is always going to bring you. This pretend security is going to bring you exactly what it is that they say that they're protecting you from. We can't legalize drugs. Think of the children. There would be a heroin epidemic in the streets of America, a meth epidemic in the streets if we legalize drugs. No, that's what your drug war has brought us now. We currently have an epidemic, a heroin epidemic, a fentanyl epidemic, a meth epidemic. So much of that would go away. So much of, if you could bring it out of the shadows, if you could take the money away from the criminal gangs. Imagine if we could take away 95% of the criminal gangs' funding. 95% gone. You know what that would mean? The criminal gangs would be gone. Oh, we can't have that. In a police state, we need crime. You understand this, right? I've explained this to you. The police need there to be crime in order to expand their budget, in order to point to it and say, see, you need us. The police need there to be crime. They need there to be criminals. Just like the CIA needs there to be terrorists. Don't you fucktards? Because I know some fuck CIA cunt listens to everything we say. Because you need terrorists. And all Americans are potential terrorists. And at the very least, this guy is seditious. I love being seditious. They keep bringing up this word also at the hearings, the sedition, seditious. I love being seditious. In fact, I think, honestly, I believe every single day that I've worked on YouTube, whether I was on camera or not, I've been very, very consistently seditious. And long before there was ever a YouTube. Because I believe in freedom. The freedom to challenge the authority of the government, which is what sedition means, is speech or actions challenging the authority of the government. I want you all to challenge the authority of the government. Who the fuck are they to put people in jail for growing flowers? Who? That's our government. It's evil. It's evil to grow flowers, especially if they're medicinal. Don't you know that? That's our government. Why? Because they make money. They make money off it. They have power. They want you, again, they want you afraid of them. They want, in other words, they want you under the police state. They want you under the heel of the police state so that they can squash you like the bug that you are anytime they want. This, again, this is what I'm telling you. You may not want to acknowledge that you're afraid of the police state. You may not want to even to yourself admit that there's any kind of, questioning about the police state. But the facts are, you're still under that same heel. The sword of Damocles is hanging over your head. You're still right there with the rest of us. So you can act like it's nothing. That's nothing. But it's a big thing, and it shouldn't be that way. And it fucks with all of us. It suppresses our entire fucking species. Keeps us from being all that we can be because we're afraid. We're afraid of our government that we pay for, our government that it's supposed to be representing us. Who are they representing? Because it's no one in the working class. Otherwise, they would have gotten a check out by now. Otherwise, they wouldn't be wasting time on some bullshit theater about, we got to impeach Donald Trump. That's never going to happen. They wouldn't be wasting time on this. They would have priorities, like going, the people are starving in the street. We must get them some kind of relief immediately. But they have all kinds of, oh no, it's too much. We have to negotiate this and we have to negotiate. Both sides, all the time. Anything about benefiting you, your mom, the working class. Oh no, that's gonna hurt everybody. No, it's not gonna hurt everybody. And they have so much people divided and brainwashed into believing that, universal basic income is such a bad idea. Oh yeah, I don't want a check from the government. The people in Alaska just hate it. It's such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea. And yet, you don't mind getting the checks, the basic, income. You want that check from the government, when it's coming to you. Well, this is going to all come to everybody. Universal. Are you afraid that's going to be bad for you? And why? And who is it that's got you believing this? I don't know. I don't get a check from the government. I haven't gotten a check from the government. I don't expect to get a check from the government. I didn't get the $1,200 stimulus. I didn't get the $600 stimulus. And I don't expect to. And I don't really want to. Again, I see this government as the great Satan, as a scourge upon this planet, and I don't want to sign a check from Satan. Right? Gee, thanks, Satan. Can I have some more? Sure. You can have all you want. Although that's not what they're doing, is it? They don't really want you to be. They just want you to, I don't know. They want to fuck with you. They're fucking with you day and night. We know it's true, and we deserve better. That's all I'm saying. I can't stand the idea that this is what we're leaving behind. Is this fucked up group of criminals who's just going to continue to ransack our environment and never ever start an infrastructure project. 21st century. By the time they start a 21st century infrastructure project, it will be like 2050 at the rate that we're going at the soonest. Right? 2050. By the time it's 2050, you can't be thinking about a 21st century infrastructure. You have to be thinking about 22nd century infrastructure. Okay? I say Elon Musk for president now, and we'll have that Dogecoin will really be something then. The Diogis. We need some Diogis. Okay, so I have the video about the mom catching the peeper outside her daughter's door, and apparently a dash cam, neighbor's dash camera on their car caught video of her tackling this guy that she just saw peeping in her daughter's window. It was kind of funny. I thought you guys might enjoy it.
Well, you may have seen this right here on News Nation last night. A Texas mom jumping into action to take down a man that she suspected of peeping into her daughter's room. This tackle was caught on dashcam video. It has since gone viral. Phyllis Pena called police after seeing this guy around her house. He took off running when police got there, and then right there, she's in her front yard. She is able to tackle him and take him to the ground until officers could come and assist her and then arrest that suspect. Officers did arrest 19-year-old Zane Hawkins. He now faces several charges, including resisting arrest. And I spoke to Phyllis about her courageous move today. Phyllis Pena joins us from her home in Lake Jackson, Texas. So good to talk to you. You have had quite a few weeks. First of all, walk us through exactly what happened back on January 31st.
Well, I got home from the store early in the morning from getting coffee, and when I got out of my car and walked around the front of my car, I see this guy just crouched down trying to peek through my daughter's window. Like, what are you doing? And he just turns and he looks at me and he takes off running. And then I go inside to go check on my daughter, and luckily she wasn't in her room. So I went and checked on her as I'm calling the cops. I start walking that way, and about that time, cops are coming from both directions.
So you're standing in your front yard and you see him. What's going through your mind in that moment?
Well, pretty much, I can't let him pass. Like, I got to stop him right here. I didn't want any chance of him getting away to be able to come back again, do that to someone else's house. I don't know. I don't know what his intentions were.
So you jumped into action. I mean, did you even think in that moment, or you just went after him?
You don't have any time to think whenever it's just a couple seconds. So it was just, I'm going to go get him, and whether I grab him or just trip him up for a few, but for whatever reason, I decided a tackle was the best way to stop him. And so I didn't really think the tackle through, but.
Well, it worked. I think you probably shocked the heck out of him. Were you hurt at all? I mean, you guys both went to the ground pretty hard.
Yeah, I got a nice little battle wound from it. I got a big old road, rash scrape down my leg and a knot on my knee, and almost my whole calf right now is black and blue. So it's nice and pretty.
Wow, it was impressive, and I think a lot of parents out there would have hoped they would have done the same thing. Are you being recruited by anybody as a bodyguard, an enforcer? I even heard some people joke about NFL teams, like, man, she can tackle.
I know, right? No, I've just had the jokes like someone has a wedding coming up and they're like, so we need a bouncer at the front door. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, you'll have all sorts of opportunities after this. I understand the officers were pretty impressed by your moves as well.
Yeah, and they did amazing. They really did handle the situation really good. And, they were just appreciative because, I just didn't want any chance of him getting away. And, I told them after I tackled him, I told the officers, I said, I'm so sorry for interfering. And they're like, no, it's okay. You did good. And,
We're sure glad you were there. Glad you're okay. And when we're picking teams, I pick you, Phyllis, for mine.
Yeah, right.
Phyllis Pena, thanks so much for talking to us tonight.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Take care.
Yes, ma'am, you as well.
What a great mom, huh? That was a pretty good takedown. Like, don't fuck with my family. That's the way, a mom should be. That's like, you don't fuck with my family. Don't ever fuck with my family. You fuck with my family again, and I won't be so nice next time. You hear what I'm saying? Let's see. So we're going to go out, I think, tomorrow. We're going to go out this weekend. I think we're going to get some new drone footage. It's snowing here. And we're going to try and get a view of the neighborhood with snow-covered roofs. So that might be fun. I can do that. Okay, so I might have to go do something right now. I'll be right back in just a moment, and we will do, hopefully, a big fat puff. Be right back.
We're learning more tonight about a San Diego woman shot and killed Wednesday when, according to authorities, pro-Trump rioters breached the U.S. Capitol building. Capitol Police publicly identified Ashley Babbitt as the woman who was killed. And Babbitt's husband, Aaron, told our sister station his wife was a San Diego native and spent 14 years in the military between the Air Force and the D.C. National Guard. Babbitt said his wife went to Washington, D.C. to take part in Wednesday's protest where she met up with friends. He said he sent her a status check text message about 30 minutes before the shooting and never heard back.
She didn't have any weapons on her, and I don't know why she had to die in the people's house. That's our house. It's everybody's house. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't know why she had to die inside the house. I saw the pictures. I had to see the pictures of my wife dying on the news.
Well, the chief of the Metropolitan Police Department said in a news conference today the woman was shot by one Capitol Police officer with a service weapon after protesters breached the fencing.
She loved her country, and she was doing what she thought was right to support her country and joining up with people, like-minded people that also love their president and their country. And, she was voicing her opinion, and she got killed for it.
Babbitt was transported to a local hospital where she later died. The officer was placed on administrative leave in accordance with police policy. Police also say 3 others died during medical emergencies.
All right, so I need to do a dab for Jackie Cat. Thanks, Jackie Cat, because she kicked down to the Bitcoins wallet, which is very, very nice for her. And I'd love to do a dab for you guys, too, if you want. It is Dabs for Donations Friday. I actually have another video that I wanted to play for you about Joe Biden's immigration policy, what he's doing in the middle of a plague. I thought it was interesting, and you guys should know about it. I thought you guys would find it interesting, so I clipped it out to make sure you heard about it if you didn't already. What are we doing here? And let's see. So I'm going to play that for you about Joe Biden's immigration policy, and then heat up the bong, and we'll take another puff for Jackie Cat because she is so sweet. And if anybody else wants to be so sweet, that would be really cool. But good luck being as sweet as Jackie Cat.
Now, the Biden administration taking its biggest step yet to change federal immigration policy. Officials announcing asylum seekers will once again be allowed to enter our country in just a matter of days. Keenan Willard in El Paso, Texas, shows us how border agencies will look to safely restart immigration during the pandemic.
The Department of Homeland Security says asylum seekers in the Remain in Mexico program will be allowed to re-enter the United States to wait out their immigration proceedings starting as soon as a week from today, with reports coming in throughout the border that hundreds of migrants daily could soon be coming through El Paso.
On Friday morning, and a week after issuing a series of executive orders aimed at restarting the asylum process in the U.S., the Biden administration announced phase one of its plan to do just that. Starting next Friday, migrants in the MPP, or Remain in Mexico program, will be allowed to cross into the United States to go through the asylum process, some after waiting in Mexico for more than a year and a half. Department of Homeland Security officials say close to 25,000 migrants are currently enrolled in MPP. The release from DHS didn't specify where migrants would be allowed to cross or how many, but a report from the Monitor in the Rio Grande Valley says up to 300 migrants will be allowed to cross into the U.S. daily at 3 ports of entry: Brownsville in the RGV, San Isidro in California, and the Paso del Norte in El Paso. Newly appointed Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says the move is evidence of President Biden's commitment to providing a safe, orderly, and humane immigration system in the U.S. But the biggest change to the immigration system since the humanitarian crisis in 2019 will face a new challenge in the COVID-19 pandemic.
We still had one of the highest numbers of bodies in the trailers, 211. And so if anybody thinks that we're sort of done with this situation, that's not the case.
DHS says migrants will be tested for COVID-19 before entering the country, and social distancing and face coverings will be mandatory. But with El Paso just months removed from being the epicenter of the pandemic in the United States, some local leaders who supported asylum seekers 2 years ago have called on the new administration to hold off on restarting immigration for now.
I'm really hoping that the president understands that there's things that he would like to do, but I think he needs to understand the predicament that we would get ourselves into here in our community.
We reached out to the city of El Paso to ask how it's preparing to start hosting migrants once again. The city did not respond in time for this story. From El Paso, Texas, I'm Keenan Willard.
Purple sunset. Every time I see that purple sunset, I think green clovers, yellow moons, purple sunsets. Lucky Charms commercial. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, I know. I watch cartoons. They play the Lucky Charms commercials on the cartoon channels all the time. Breakfast cereal. Sugar for breakfast is so yummy. All right, that's about all the videos that I have, actually. I have Shooting Sharks. I didn't play that one yet. Let's see, the Shooting Sharks video. But I gotta take this bong hit for Jackie Cat because she's so awesome. Thank you, Jackie Cat. Spores? You think I should get spores? That's a very interesting idea. My new roommate knows how to grow psilocybin. Thanks so much, Jackie Cat. You're a wonderful lady, you are. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means, unless we have some phone callers, because right now we don't have any phone callers. I came here to smoke fat dabs, play video clips, and talk to you guys. Not talk at you, talk with you. So if you want to call, the number's right there on the screen. I'll give you another minute or two. But I'm all out of video clips. And I don't have any phone callers as far as I know. So I came here to do what I came here to do. And that's all I can do. So thanks so much for tuning in every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back here on Monday, same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, so I hope we see you there, because always better when you're here, and I really mean that. Thanks so much for tuning in. If it wasn't for you guys, this is how I prove it. If it wasn't for you guys tuning in, then I'd just be here talking to myself, and that would be that would be kind of crazy. So thank you so much for tuning in. It makes me a little less crazy. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days this war is gonna end. Stay cool till then.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories, 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.